Time slots tutorial. There's two types of time slots. There's static time slots that you set to a specific day and time, and you'll see them listed without any bookings because they've just been added for bookings. And then there's flexible slots where you set a day, event type, location, and time range and interval per day. And then you set how far in advance you want it to be available or a specific date. And that's called flexible slots. And that's this way the customer can go in and pick what specific event type, and then they can see the day and then they pick a time. So it's just a more dynamic, flexible process versus setting specific, hey, this event, this location, this date, this time. So there's your static slots and your flexible slots. Now they're all built off of any time slot event type. We call these event types. You see the linked up there. You could click from it there, or you could also get to it from this link here, add edit time slot events. So I have a couple sample event types here: private lesson, group lesson, then camp 5-day session. So you could have single day, single person events, single day group events, and then you can also have multiple day events. These multiple day events can have a start and end time per day, or they could have a start time on the first day and an end time on the last day, depending on how you want to run the multiple day event. So um, I'll click into this one here, private lesson. I've attached a default promo event for this event type. You could set the promo event as you go through the time slot wizard for static time slots. For flexible time slots, this will be the promo video that's shown for that event type. Give it a title, a description. This will all be seen by the customer. Any specific notes that you would like to include with the event type. If you would like to list a cancellation policy, this is just listing a cancellation policy. We don't have there's not a rule set in the software for a cancellation policy, but we at least allow a field to list out what your policy is. Now you could set a booking deadline for your event. For example, let's see, this one has a booking deadline set to 5 minutes before the event starts. So if you don't want to be booked at the last minute, say you've looked at your calendar, you've looked at your slots, you don't see that you have any bookings coming up within an hour, well, you want to be able to go do something else. So and you also don't want somebody coming at the last minute and then booking that time and you've already stepped away. So you could set a booking deadline to a specific date and time, certain amount of days before at a certain time, or just a specific amount of minutes beforehand. So this one is 5 minutes before. Um, After it gets underneath 5 minutes or less, this event type can no longer be booked. Okay, you can set the duration of the event in minutes. You can select whether or not it's a multiple day event. This is where you select that. And is it a per day time? Or is it ongoing? So if you set per day, when you go to add this multiple day event, you select all the days, then the next page you'll see is a page to set the time, start and end times per day, or the start time per day. We know the end time because of the duration. Okay, this is the quantity of basically slots available for this event type. You could set this to however many day you want, or as few or however few you want. And then you could set a cost per slot. So being this is one, this is 75. If this was $50 and this was a 2-slot event and they both got booked, then it'd be $100 total. But each person would be charged the $50 or whatever the per slot cost is. You could also set a maximum amount of slots per person. So if you don't want somebody to be able to book the entire group out all at once, you try to take a certain bookings for all of a specific event type, you could set a maximum amount. Um, for example, somebody has 2 kids, you just want to make sure that and they both book with you for like the same event type for the same day and time. If it's like a group lesson, they both want to go to it. Well, you'd want to make sure that this was set to 2 if it was a group lesson, just so that the person could book at least 2 at a time. Okay, so you could also make the event private. Now, when you make the event private, it no longer is visible to the customer on the front end. The only way they can access the event page for booking is if you send them a link directly. This feature here is for guest bookings. So if you don't want your customers to have to log in and create an account, you could turn on guest booking, and they'll see the same kind of detail page to book the event as a logged in user, except for them they'll need to enter their name and their email address and their phone number as an optional thing if you want the phone number, so at least you know who's showing up. Okay. Um, This is manual activation on cash and club credit payments. So there's four types of payments that the system has built currently, and we're going to be expanding this out to accept other payment forms very soon. For now, there's package credits where customers can buy a package. They could pay cash. They could use a credit card, which we use online credit card transactions through Stripe, or they could use what's called club credit. Club credit is just a made up credit system for you. It could be whatever you want it to be. Some clubs allow customers to purchase off of credit of their club number or whatever they have with that club, and it's put into that club's internal system. And so in this case, you could use a club credit tracking an amount type rather than cash or credit card, because at your club you wouldn't take cash or credit card. You just put it on the um, members credit. Okay, so going back here, and when you're not going through the credit card transaction process, you'll need to get paid another way. So typically it's in person or some other method, sent through PayPal or Cash App, whatever it is. So when somebody books and makes a purchase through a credit card, they get instant access to whatever it is that's being purchased. Now, for certain types of items that we have, programs, subscriptions, even time slots, you can require a manual activation of that booking in order for it to become active. And if you'd like to do that, you just toggle this tool here, this option here. And so what happens is when the customer books, their booking is pending, and you'll see it on your pending activations page, which you access to right here. And you would just click the activate button next to it, and it'll activate the booking. So we'll go back here to the event types, click on edit. So that's manual activation. And this is really helpful if you're selling subscriptions and or content-based programs where people can get instant value from whatever it is you're offering with your digital content. So you want to make sure that they're paying for it and you're getting paid before you allow the access. And manual activation on cash and club credit payments is a perfect tool for that. Okay, this next option we have is make an MVP only. So out of your customers, there's an option called set as MVP. And if you turn that on, this customer will have access to MVP event types. So if you wanted to create an event type that was only accessible and only viewable by MVP marked customers, you would turn this on, and only they would be able to see this event type. So that's MVP. If you wanted to add a link to a waiver, or a DocuSign, or a PDF they need to download, or something like that, or any other sort of doc that you want to add it here in the description of the event type, you include that here as well, and you save it. Now, once you save the event, let's make sure all the settings are here. And once you save your event, you'll want to add it um, to your calendar as a time slot if you wanted to add it as a static, or you can add it as a flexible slot item. So we'll get into those videos next. If you have any further questions about time slots, please contact us. Thank you very much.